I am 3+Kei. I am here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. And we are on the way to the gym. I go to two different gyms. One is like a public run-of-the-mill gym, and it's crowded, but it's a good alternative. They have a basketball court, and I like to play basketball, and it's also a great place to socialize. And as I go through my journey of life, I'm wanting more and more to socialize with people that I actually have stuff in common with, or like we have shared interests that we're willing to, kind of work around. So that's one gym. I go there if like I want to talk to people, like if I'm into being social. I usually give myself about an hour at the gym, and so when I go to the first gym, I know a bunch of people, so I'll probably end up talking a lot, and only get half of my workout done, which is fine sometimes if you feel like socializing. This gym that we're going to now is a private gym for powerlifting specifically. So there's like no cardio equipment, it's only powerlifting equipment and equipment to assist in your powerlifting goals. There's a state competition in April of next year, and I intend on competing. In order for me to compete, I need to lift 188 or so pounds. And currently, because I prioritized making money over my physical goals, my physical activity goals, I don't know if I regret that decision, but I didn't go to the gym for a month, and I lost about 20 pounds that I can lift. So anyway, right now I can lift about 100 kilograms, and that's really, 50 kilograms, which is really about 100 pounds. Where I was a month ago was about 167 pounds. So you can probably understand that I'm very frustrated with myself. A little bit of shame, a little bit of guilt for losing the gains that I made for something that's important to me. So we're back at it, back at the gym every single day. The goal is to not miss a day going to the gym. And right now what I'm about to do is biceps and chest. And we'll do, 10 reps, 4 sets. And there will be a 1-minute break. Ooh. There will be a 1-minute break between each set. Sorry, I texted it to myself and it's not coming through, but we have limited time. Protein shake, strawberry milkshake from Nuri. I don't know where you guys are, but my Costco, and of course, we did creatine before we got in the gym, before we left the house. This is Montana. People are like, why do you live in Montana? I'm going to show you literally what's behind me. Look at the mountains. Always with the mountains behind me. All right. And hopefully nobody's in here. If somebody's in here, then you go bye-bye. Or y'all go bye-bye. Let's see. Oop, it's just us. Oh, here, actually, we could put this here. We're gonna, what are you guys talking about? No one is here. That's okay. For those of you sorry, I'll set my phone. Whoever start a YouTube channel, sometimes you might get discouraged if someone's not watching or if a lot of people aren't watching. I would tell you to talk anyway because particularly with my videos for some reason, many people watch the live stream later, right? So like this live stream today might get, I don't know, let's just say like 50 views or whatever, and then as time passes, more people will watch it back for whatever reason. But what I do today, I went to church. Did you guys go to church? We're doing this church crawl, which I'll talk about tonight, during the live stream, which airs at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But I went to church, and I don't know why. I slept like 10 hours, but I've been very, very tired lately. And I don't know if it's because the seasons are changing or the summer just ended, and during the summer I'm doing a lot of like public activities. I don't know if I'm peopled out, but I constantly, which is why we're here today, at this gym, I constantly just want to be alone lately. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. And I say, like, the biggest thing, if I wasn't alone, I have a friend that lives like an hour and a half from here, and she has this cabin that's just like off the highway. There's not even electricity, and I don't get to see her often because she's kind of preoccupied with her boyfriend. But um, when I do go there, I just kind of like hang out at her house, and she's in and out and living her own life or whatever, and I just like hang out at her house and feel a way about it. It's a preference that she just kind of not even ignores me, but like continues on throughout her life, kind of like a mini vacation. Um, but that's kind of like the only place I feel like I want to be. And I was asking my friend Benjamin where there might be a cabin with no service. That also sounds, because I feel like if you have service, you're going to check your phone. And I would like the ability to not check my phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Do you guys feel like that? Oh, it's laggy. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know. We're in a warehouse, like a converted warehouse. And we did some of these already. So yeah, it might be a little laggy. There we go. And then also there's a part of my life that's kind of like, baby, we have like we have a whole business to run. We have a whole business to run. It's not time to go out in the middle of the woods doing foolishness, you know. All right. I'm gonna have to see y'all at 7 Mountain Standard Time for the Secret Heart Club. Hey Poppy. I thought the live stream isn't, the internet's not gonna work in here unless all of a sudden it is. That would be crazy. Hold on a second. Here we are. Here we are. For some reason I can't see any of the chat. So sorry. But Poppy, I did see your message, and this is just Jim and Jesus. I'm just working out. Secret Heart Club is tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay, today, oh, I forgot. We're actually doing deadlift. I'm so glad this is a nice slow day. And again, guys, I apologize, but I can't see any comments or anything. It's just the way it's playing out. So we're gonna deadlift up to 15 kilograms today. And we're just gonna have a nice slow workout. All right, we're gonna start with just some regular fives. And like I was saying, I was out of the gym for about a month. So I lost major gains. For context, what I am capable of lifting what I am capable of lifting is 175 pounds. Would I dare do that right now? No. What we're gonna lift is whatever, 45 plus 20. 45 plus 20 is, we're just gonna lift 65 pounds. Because we're getting back into it. No need to be a hero, right? We're just gonna work on form. We're gonna do 5. And then set the timer for 1 minute. But what I was saying is, when I was a new believer, I spent so much time with the Lord. There's this Bible app where you can do, like, they're called plans. It takes you through pieces of the Bible. And I would regularly be doing like 8 plans at a time. Romans 10 was my favorite. I would read it every day. I would read chunks of the Bible, like different books. In like one day, it was like I had a ravenous appetite for the Lord. And I think what they don't prepare you for, because I've heard actually that it's a pretty common experience, but I just don't have that ravenous appetite, you know? And it's like, so then, what is missing? What am I doing or not doing? You know? So one thing is kind of like fellowshipping. And I wonder, sometimes you have to look inward, but am I being too harsh? Or for me, I think it's a question of like, where are my expectations unrealistic with fellowshipping? I was thinking about it earlier. Like, I really like sneakers. So if I went to a sneaker conference, the assumption is like we're all present, like we're all there, and we have our fancy sneakers or whatever. So the assumption is that we already love sneakers, right? And then there would be like some further discussion about sneakers, but you would get into relationship building, and that goes for like any hobby or any area of your life, including your job. This is our last one at 5 kilograms. And so, for some reason, I am consistently, woo! For some reason, I am consistently not building these relationships through the fellowshipping process. And so some things I've kind of heard, right, are like, you're not there for you. You're there um, to contribute. Which is super fair. And I kind of, if you're not at a place, if you're only function in a location, if your only function in a location is to contribute and not receive, then I don't know. I don't know how like biblical that is. If the point of fellowship is to like one another's burdens and this kind of thing, there should be like some pursuance of relationship building, like an intention to build relationships. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being too sensitive, and I should just shut up and volunteer and go home. Oh snap! Maybe that's the case, right? Shut up, volunteer, and go home. Contribute, right? But as any like social worker or anybody, right, what your mom would tell you is like, at some point, if you're always giving from your cup and it's not being filled, there comes a point of depletion at some point, right? And to that, I've heard the argument of like, well, the Lord fills my cup every day so that I'm able to pour into. And the people who say that are like the most generous people ever, like super dependable people. However, I'm just saying, I'm thinking of one person in particular. She has a lot of health complications that are stress related. And she's aging very, 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 very quickly. Do you know? She's a mom, actually. And I've witnessed her over the years, and nobody ever really pours into her. And she's constantly, like, you can look at her and see the sickliness on her. And it's a lot of like, well, that's because, you have a cup of rice and you parse it out to all the people. And so now you're starving. And obviously there's like some amount of like wisdom and discernment and it all, okay, we're at 10, we're going to do 5. But these are the things I think about. And none of it has to do with Jesus Christ himself. You know what I mean? And my love for him. It's more just like a wrestling of like, how do I reflect my love of Christ into a community environment where I'm also being fed as well, like taking care to make sure that I'm being fed as well, and I'm not depleted. Because if I'm depleted, then what happens to me? And I know somebody's like, oh, that's such a selfish way to think, but I think it's a little bit of realistic, you know. So, I don't know. I think about these things, guys. Oh, all right. We're going to do 5 sets. Take a break of 1 minute. 5 reps. 3 sets. Okay. one is it's 20, 40, 40 plus 45. It's 85. So this is about half of what I'm capable of, or what I left off at. Yeah, so I started doing this thing called a church crawl, where I go from just going from church to church. And this church today, I'll talk about it tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, the live stream. It was called Revive Church. And it was very much so giving. It's only the second time I've been there. It was very much so giving. Glad you're here. Very much so giving that. Like, one thing, y'all don't know me, but one thing I like to do is be helpful. And that's that's the nuance to what I'm kind of even talking about. Is while I like to be helpful, if you're always the helping person, and people associate you with you being a generous and cheerful giver, they will continuously ask you. I don't know one person in my life, however well-meaning, that identifies me as a cheerful giver that doesn't come around asking for favors. You know? Which, I mean, if I love you, you're more than welcome to ask me for a favor. But every once in a while, and it's a person I would have to cut off, right? Somebody's like, oh, Lakeitha will always say yes. And it's like, oh, here you come again. Always asking, never giving. You gotta go. Can't help you no more. You'll bleed me dry if I let you. You know people like that? You gotta be careful of that. All right. This is set 2, 5 reps. But yeah, we went in there today. And I know they place the people, the greeters, strategically. But it was just a lot of like, hey, hi, how you doing? I went with Ben, and I don't think we made it maybe like 10 or 15 feet at a time without somebody being like, hey, hi. I like that. You don't have to wonder where to go or what to do. You don't have to wonder, like, do I belong here? I went to a church recently and I did wonder, like, it was more like, oh, if I always attended here, I'd have to be very, like, nice and polite. Like gregarious wouldn't be like a good way to be at this particular church. But yeah, and then a lady was like, now y'all know I love me a little old lady. I just want to nibble. Little old ladies are my kryptonite. If ever they were like, oh, 3+Kei was lured into a van, it wasn't a guy with puppies. It was a little old lady with cookies. You want some cookies? If she called me sweetie or baby, I'm in. I am down. But anyway, they had this sweet little old lady, and I mean, she just The way she was so welcoming, we just followed her over to a table. Next thing you know, I volunteered to bring cupcakes to the fall hayride. Like, what? You know, I didn't even mean to do it. It was a very welcoming church, I will say that. All right, last one, guys. And then we're not going to put these fives on here. I think we're just going to kind of leave it be. We want to roll back into good health. There's no need to push it. You know what I'm saying? We have until April to figure it out. All right. All right. But yeah, I signed up to make some cupcakes. You know? And then we passed by another woman who wasn't so pushy. Or so I thought. And she had those little shoe boxes. Those little shoe boxes where you fill it up with toys for the little kids. And they go all around the world. I thought we bypassed her. You know, I'll tell you guys the rest. At the live stream tonight. I don't want to give it all away. And I don't mean to sound so complaining either. I really am just trying to figure it out. Figure out what my walk with the Lord is supposed to be looking like in a way that is not detrimental to my mental health. Do you know what I mean? Because I see how some people, like I was saying, their walk with the Lord, the way that they do things, and how they interpret scripture for how they do it, has compromised their very health. And there's a level of dying to ourselves that we should be doing. There's a level of dying to ourselves that we should be doing for others in the name of love, godly love. There's also, I'm sure, right, a level of discernment with it all. Okay. This is a little sketchy. You guys ready? So first we're going to do incline dumbbells with the chest, 4x10, 35 pounds. I'm going to start at 25 pounds. do quick 10 of these. And all right, here we go. All right, 25 was pretty easy. I think we could probably bump it up to 30. I wish I had worn a t-shirt now instead of a hoodie. I just have a sports bra underneath this. And this ain't that type of show. I will say I went back to the gym last week and it felt great. There's this guy, Mark, that comes here and he calls me the Dominator, which was pretty accurate before I stopped going to the gym. I need to maybe just stop talking about how I stopped going to the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how helpful it is to like recall that that happened outside of just making sure that it doesn't happen again. But oh, look, there's a cross. I wonder. All right, we're gonna try 30s because 25 was pretty much light work. I'm so tired. I don't know why, bro. Like, I sleep. I sleep pretty, you know. Oh, I'm gonna wear my Fitbit to bed tonight. Get these 30s out here. Think I can do it? I can do all things through Christ. Boom, chicka, boom. All right, here we go. I said it, but I don't know how much I meant it. Ready? Let's go. Boom. Ooh. All right. 30 it is, my guy. Do you ever think to yourself, what do I want? Like, what would make me really happy? And really, like, even if it's something, let's say you're big bone, and what you really want is, right? Because there's people who want the cheesecake, but they think they just can't say it.
And I would even say further, just because you want the cheesecake doesn't mean you have to go get cheesecake. But just to have, like, there's value in the awareness that what you want is the cheesecake, even though you know that the carrot is better. And so I think that's what I need to be doing in my own life is like, what do I like? Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, what is it that I like really, really want? Like, what is it that's missing? And I think I keep saying it in different ways, but I don't know how to get to it, you know? And I know if I expressed it, I already know what the answer would be from other people. But it's like, that's why relationships are so important because it's like, you need to be able to meet someone where they are, like help them flesh something out, not just give them the appropriate answer. Be like, hey, you're fat, you should be eating carrots. If someone's like, you know what, I really want some cheesecake now, there's a whole line of questioning you could go through and never mention carrots once. And if you have a carrot agenda, you could eventually get to the carrots, right? But oh, there we go. I think that's Oh, there we go. I think that's what's behind me wanting seeking solitude, time to flesh it out, what I'm kind of wanting in general, you know. I have all sorts of ideas, but I don't know if any of it's really like true. Oof. You know, and a little bit is kind of like, so I don't shake the boat because you don't want to go do something like, I'm kind of like in a mode right now of doing everything I'm supposed to do, but something's missing. You know? Something's missing. I have an elderly neighbor. I love her so much. Um, I really like spending time with her. The only thing, and it's why I stopped going over to her house, I would go over to her house all the time, except she smokes cigarettes in her house, and I have asthma, So I can only be in there for like 5 minutes at the most. Like I can't really. And then I work with people and children, and so my hair, I can't have, if I stay in there for a while, my hair will smell like cigarette. I wouldn't mind hanging out with her. She's really my type of speed. She's always like reading a book. You know what I mean? And people that read books, there's two people. Sometimes people read books and they never talk about what they read. I'm like, what was the point? You know? So you just know stuff and you don't tell anybody. Like, but she'll talk forever about her books. And she draws too. And she leads such a quiet, active life. Like, she goes to the library and she goes to these drawing classes. And she's just like a little old lady, and I love her so much. I wish I could spend more time with her, but I can't. Not in her house, and she doesn't want to go anywhere with me. Whew. Okay, let's see what else. I'll take a 1 minute break. I'm ready to sew this thing up. We have incline dumbbells, chest fly, 10 pounds. We'll start with 5 pounds. It's for adulting. I want to tell you guys something. There's gonna be days. There's going to be days you don't want to work out. And that's okay. Just go anyway and work out like slowly. Do you know what I mean? Just work out slowly. I really like how there's a cross right behind me. I think that's pretty sick. Okay. Just tell you one thing. Right now, I'll show you the board behind me, but it says like it's like the leadership board for weights. Hold on. We're gonna do 10 sets. Whoops, 4 sets of 10 reps. This shoulder is injured, so that's why these weights are so light. Like this. Yeah, even with 5 pounds, it's a little hurty. 1 minute. I was asking what you guys are eating for dinner. I'm gonna make zucchini boats. Cheese and the beef. Know what I'm saying? In the zucchini, you bake it. I haven't been eating cheese, or why not? Let me- It's really the shoulder when I do bench press, when the weights get to be too much, it'll kind of go like this. And in the competition, it can't do that. It has to be like a square. So, have you guys heard of Quora? It's like social media, but there's like harder questions, like thought-provoking questions, instead of like, look at my pet toys in everyone's life. Unfortunately, money cannot be used to buy everything. That's the point, folks. But the sweet spot to live in when you become doing whatever you want. Like, I think that's the real freedom, doing whatever you want. Like, I think that's the real freedom. Like, once you have your retirement figured out, I read an article. It's a series of of a journalist interviewing 80-year-olds, people over 80 who are still working. And his giants were mismanaged, or they partied so long and now they have nothing. And, there's all sorts of dollars an hour to supplement their social security. I don't judge it, but I do take the lesson. And then the rest of the time before you're 65 or whatever, you can then you have like freedom to have that peace of mind, because there's no point in being the artist on forced to do it. Most of us are forced to work beyond our bills, right? So I think that's the freedom. That's what I'm working toward, is just like securing that retirement. And then if all I have to do is pay for my bills, your bills aren't really, well, I don't, I'll speak for myself. My bills aren't really what's driving me. At the end of the day, it's not like that much, that's it's like you can't deal with it. Or I think that was the third batch. We'll just do one more. And then Just like 45 minutes of walking I need to do today. I wonder if it's the weather. I've had some green tea as well. I'll tell you what, something that sounds just like fantastic is putting on a onesie and reading a book and drinking some tea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sounds good. You guys ever did one of these train rides, cross country train rides? Doesn't that sound nice? In autumn, also with tea and a book? Is that what I really want to be doing, apparently? Is drinking tea and reading a book and eating squash. All right. That's the end of that, my friends. Let's see what we've got. Next up. Um these are called 777s. So the idea is like we're down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then all the way down, all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? I think we could probably start with tens. Ready? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. These are 777s. Ready? Okay. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the way down, all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think we can move toward 15s. Whew. You know, Costco's nearby. I thought about going to Costco and getting a bunch of protein shakes. I didn't drink any water at all. I think at some point you gotta kind of go with where your tolerance level is. And I'm tired. For one, I don't know, it's like a sleepy day. I'm looking out the window. It's very dreary. There's a beautiful tree changing colors to, autumn orange and yellow. And it's kind of doing that. It's very quiet in here. This is why I like this gym, and I will say I have definitely a habit, and I'm sure many people have thoughts on this, but I'm not really that excited to go to church. And I go, right? But it is quite easy for me to come up with excuses or reasons why I shouldn't go on any particular Sunday or Wednesday for that matter. And again, I still go, but I would like to at least acknowledge that to myself that like I went, I had a good time. I usually have a good time. It's the process of like getting up, you know. That might, I don't know how exclusive. I work from home, so like my going to work is literally walking from my bedroom to my office. You know what I mean? So like that's not during the weekday, even though I wake up earlier. And then even on gym days, I was talking to my gym mates about it. We go to the gym at 10, and for some reason, every week I'm running late. It's like 4-day weeks and like active and where they can learn the most. And it's like, are we gonna? That's got to be the case for adults too, right? like, not everybody's trying to wake up at 7 to go to work by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. I wonder if you guys are saying anything at all. If you are, I have no, the the comment section, the chat box has been erased from my screen. Praise the Lord. I'm out of here. I am 3+Kei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. Join us tonight on the Secret Heart Club live stream. Boop, 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 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for joining me today, and talk to you guys later. Oh, there's no way for me to even turn this off. Oh, that's